Hey folks, this is Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking, where we talk about all kinds of fun and cool things that have to do with mountain bikes. Today I'm hanging out with my buddy Geoff from SRAM, and we're going to go over the GX Eagle series from SRAM. So stay tuned. All right folks, we're back. Like I said, we're going to talk about the SRAM drivetrain, specifically the GX Eagle, with Geoff. So Geoff, how you doing, my friend?
Good. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. If you haven't seen the other video, Geoff walked me through the Shockways product, which I'm going to have in stock not in stock, I'm going to have one pretty soon. And you had a lot of questions on that tool. So I'll have it on my bike, and we can work on that together and run all our questions over here by Geoff. So a lot of good things coming up, right? So it's good. Today, we're going to talk about the SRAM GX Eagle. Did I say that right?
Yes, you got it. You got it.
Okay, cool. I got something right. Now, that is a 12-speed
Eagle
drivetrain.
Is a 12-speed extended range drivetrain.
Okay. So that's technical. Before we even get into that yet, let's talk about real quick, if I have a 2x system, because this is an upgrade.
Absolutely.
It might not be on everybody's bike, right?
For sure.
So if you have a 2x, you might want to do this. What would be the benefit of going with this whole SRAM line if I have a 2x on my bike?
Going from a 2x setup is going to give you a quieter drivetrain,
okay,
because you don't have front derailleur rub.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way the chain interfaces with the chainring, the derailleur, the cassette, there's less friction. It's a quieter system. It's simpler. You're ditching your front derailleur. So
Sure.
you don't have to worry about dropping your chain. You don't have to worry about shifting the front derailleur at all. It's just a much simplified mechanism. It's a lot more durable. We've seen our 1x11 drivetrains last exponentially longer than a geared setup with 2 or 3 rings up front. Typically, you're wearing the chain ring out before anything else, and that's not a very expensive part to replace. It's lighter. You're removing a chain ring. You're removing a derailleur. And most people don't factor in the cable and housing actually weighs quite a bit.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
So you're shedding, it could be a quarter pound, sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but a good amount of weight off the bike. And you get now with GX Eagle or any of the Eagle drivetrains, you're getting the same range as a 2x setup. You're not losing anything out of this.
Gotcha.
So
that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
One of the limitations with your 1x11 was that it didn't have quite that range that a 2x would have. So you would compromise and maybe put a smaller chainring on and give you that lower end gear. If you were a super fit racer, you'd put a larger chainring on to give you that high end back.
Gotcha.
And now with the Eagle setups, whether it's GX, XO1, or XX1 like we have on this bike here, you have that extended range, and you could still manipulate and fine tune with changing chainring size.
Gotcha. So folks, what Geoff's referring to is basically this. Here's my Trek Remedy 8, and this is set up with a 11-speed SRAM GX series. Not Eagle. Eagle means 12.
Eagle means 12.
Okay, so this is an 11-speed system. So works great. I'm happy with it. No complaints. But why people still kept the 2x's is because there's still a gearing range that I can't achieve on this bike.
So think of a really steep climb. You might not have a low enough gear with that 1x11 setup.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
You get that low gear back with the 52 rear cog.
Okay, so now moving to Eagle with 12 speeds, I can actually get the full range.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so what we should probably do is let's go take a look at these products. Okay, I've got GX here. What do we got on the bike that I really like so much?
That the Chameleon has GX Eagle on it.
Okay.
And then we've got XX1 Eagle on the tall boy here.
Okay, so the GX Eagle is basically my GX.
Yep.
Okay, so it's my GX, the new version. So this is going away.
Correct.
Okay, so this one's going to go away, and it's going to be replaced with
GX Eagle.
Okay, absolutely. And then there's this one over here.
Yep.
This is which one is this?
That's a XX1.
This is an XX1.
Eagle.
And is there anything else besides these?
There's XO1 in between the GX and the XX1.
Okay, gotcha. So this is probably something I'd be running. This is something that maybe a high-end racer would want to run. We'll talk about some costs and things like that. Ballparks. But to give you an idea. But I know what you want to see. You guys want to see the goods. So
Absolutely.
let's go take a look at everything and get into it. Stay tuned.
Just want to talk a little bit about how we got into this 1x market. It's kind of interesting. We were the first company to do a system built one by platform. And it's one of the things that's really unique with this. The chain is locked onto the chainring. You can't pull this off. You'd have to be Hercules to get that chain off of here. You know, if you look at the teeth profiling, this is our original X-Sync chainring, and they were just engineered to keep that chain on. And we needed that in order to do a proper one-by system so that your chain wasn't falling off. And along with that were derailleur refinements and some other nuances that we had to massage into the componentry to make this all work. Now we do have competitors who are making what they call narrow wide chain rings, and there's many on the market now, but none of them have the technology to keep that chain on there.
All right, folks, so right now we're going to take a look at the actual components. So what we're looking at right now is my bike. It's the Trek Remedy 8, and it's got the SRAM GX series, but Geoff is going to take us through the differences, and I'm going to lead him into that. So go for it, my friend.
So one of the things we did with our first iteration of one by was incorporating a clutch in the rear derailleur. That clutch pulls the derailleur cage back, and it adds tension to the chain so you don't get chain slap.
Makes sense.
It's critical to keep the chain from falling off and misshifting as you're going through rocky terrain. We refined that on the GX Eagle. We've got a Type 3 clutch now, so it's even stronger. We changed the position of the lockout for when you need to remove the wheel.
Oh.
So it's just a slight refinement on previous 1x11 GX, but the architecture and the engineering in the cage and the offset and everything is specific for GX Eagle.
Gotcha.
The original 1x11 GX derailleur is not compatible with GX Eagle. In fact, nothing's really compatible with Eagle.
Gotcha.
If you want to upgrade your 11 speed to the 12 speed, you're replacing your cassette, your chain, your derailleur, your shifter, most likely the crank, definitely the chainring.
Okay, so it is a pretty big investment to go from, if you've got a 2x and want to go to a 1x, you're doing it anyway.
Correct.
If you've got an 11 speed and you want to go to a 12 speed, you're doing the same thing. You're pretty much, you know, you're going to be changing everything
now,
over.
If your drivetrain is worn out,
might be a
and
good time to do it.
you're replacing a chain, cassette, and chainring, you're almost
pretty
at
close.
The cost of the whole group.
Good point.
So it's
Yep.
Now the
what
benefits of going to that GX, that extra range, it's going to make your riding much more enjoyable. Internally, we had to shave material down from the plates to fit that extra cog.
Oh, interesting.
On the cassette.
Okay, cool.
And if you notice, I mean, if you were to look at a different angle, that big cog does kind of wrap around the spoke, sort of.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
I don't know how small you can go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh,
so it's almost like it dishes.
Correct. Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
that's what you mean. Oh, that is cool. You guys are like to the millimeter. You're trying to milk it for everything you can to get that sizing in there. Wow, that is freaking cool. All right, that makes a lot of sense.
And another thing we did was we changed the chain altogether. You have a new chain link here, which is directional. That follows the line of the pulleys going, you know, wrapping around and up and around the cassette and the chain, chain ring.
Help it lock in more?
Correct, yeah. We use a new technology called FlowLink, and that just, there's way less friction, and it holds onto the chain ring and cogs more so than our previous 11-speed chains did.
Gotcha.
Again, that makes it quieter. It makes it more durable. There's less friction. Less friction is durability. You're increasing the lifespan of everything.
Very cool. All right, so let's do this. Obvious benefits between the 11 and the 12. Now let's talk about do we go GX Eagle or just Eagle? Let's rule out the money part.
Yeah.
Obviously, we already know there's going to be a financial difference between the two. What are we getting over here?
XX1 is our top of the line Eagle setup. Again, in between GX and XX1, we have XO1.
Gotcha.
You're going to be hard pressed to find a difference in shift quality and feel from GX to XX1.
Okay.
What you're really getting when you go up to XX1, you're reducing weight.
Okay.
A little bit more durability in terms of crank, carbon fiber stronger than aluminum crank. Everything just weighs a little less.
What's the gold? What is that gold? What's the gold?
That's
front?
an XX1.
XX1. Okay.
There's two colorways. You have the gold or the black.
Oh, okay. So they're the same level.
It's just a bling factor.
You went for the black. Okay, gotcha.
Correct,
Gotcha.
correct.
'Cause I've seen the gold. I didn't know if that meant something different. Okay. So let's see. What did we talk about so far? We know about an 11 speed and the 12 speed. We talked about the fact that I have the 11 speed, happy with it, but I have limited range. And folks, just so you know, I'm gonna take a look at this because this goes exactly with what Geoff said earlier. I'm running, I think it's a 26, 28. I just don't have the strength to pull off climbing the hills with the gear ratio I'm getting from this 11 speed without really dropping that front ring. I personally don't have the strength. That's on me, but I don't. But one of the benefits of going with the 12 speed is I can run a bigger ring in the front, which will get back some of that speed that I wouldn't mind getting back, and now be able to climb like a boss. You know, now I'll have the strength back to climb up. In fact, probably, I think, Geoff, you mentioned this before, I'll probably end up with more range than I had before.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
That is pretty cool. So folks, I think we did pretty good here. We learned about what you might have already. We learned about the GX11 speed. We learned about the new upgrade of that, the new version of that, which is the Eagle GX, the GX Eagle.
GX Eagle, yep,
Okay,
yep.
so this is kind of going away. We're going to be going to that. And then we're also taking a look at the rich guy stuff over here, the high-end stuff. So that also being the case, if I wanted to upgrade, let's talk price, because one of the things I was really hot about is I already know this is not regular guy stuff.
Correct.
That's
correct.
cool. There's nothing wrong with that. This is regular guy stuff. How regular guy is it?
You're looking at $500 approximately for the entire group. That's everything. That's a crank, your chain, your cassette, your shifter, the full group there.
Chain ring too?
That's with the crank.
So basically, if you have no, what about bottom bracket? Will it fit your existing bottom bracket?
It should, yeah. If you're pulling off a GXP crank,
okay,
the new crank will just slip right in there.
So literally for around $500, I can go. Now look, I've got people that watch this, and I know some guys must be nice, Gene, to just pull $500. It's still $500, but that's not a lot of money for a completely brand new Grupo over here. Considering, like what you said before, if I had to replace everything because things were kind of wearing out, I'd need a lot of those parts anyway.
Correct.
I'd be close. Maybe I'd be halfway. All right, but I could do this whole thing. That's not bad.
And your riding experience, you're just going to be much happier on the bike.
So now, if for some reason there is gold at the end of the rainbow and I found it, where am I at with this thing?
XX1 is roughly $1,300 to $1,400, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then you've got XO1, the group in between, which is around $1,100 to $1,200.
Okay, but now the only real difference is going to be weight.
Weight, you're moving, materials change. You've got carbon fiber cranks.
Gotcha.
On XO1 and XX1, there's different grades between those as well. There's more titanium hardware.
Okay. And
the XX1 group, stainless steel, and XO1 and GX as well.
Okay.
So it's really just a weight refinement.
But the technology, like the things are still working the same.
They work identically.
Like you said, it's going to shift just as well. Either way, you want to save some weight.
Exactly.
Which is fair. And for some people, look, some of you guys, like I did a couple other reviews on products, and you guys are all complaining about weight. Well, there you go, and that costs you money.
Yep, absolutely.
But that's okay, you know, because you know what you're getting into. Cool. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, Geoff. I'm going to thank you again.
You're very welcome.
Because you got to, like, you guys know this. It's not that easy for regular guys to actually have a vendor talk to me. Not even a vendor, the SRAM, the guys that make the thing. Right? This means a lot to us. So I want to thank you. This is a Saturday, guys. We're Saturday at Ringwood Park. He could be out riding, and he's hanging out with me doing an interview. So I got to do this again.
You're very welcome.
This means the world to us. SRAM, you guys rock. If you're watching this, you guys rock. And we'll have a lot more stuff coming. I'm looking forward to getting this thing a try. And that's all I got for you guys this time.
Awesome. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Keep your party on the pedals, my friends, and we'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye. That's it.
Cool.
Put this one in the can. That was good.